What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Today is Friday, September 13th. It's Friday the 13th, and today we're going to be doing a top 10 fall recommendations. And this isn't a usual fall selection for me. Usually I go very heavy and dark already, but we're going to do a more of a transitional fall. It's not completely cool yet. We did get a little bit of a slight temperature dip the other day, but it's back to being 90 degrees here in Austin, Texas. So I'm gonna be showing you some of my collection that I think is perfect for transitioning into the fall. I carefully selected these. I wore these throughout the past 2 weeks to kind of gauge to see if these are great recommendations, and I believe they are. They vary in price from very cheap to a little on the higher end. Today we're going to start with the cheap one, and these aren't in no particular order, but I just decided to wear this today. I went to go shop for some groceries, and I decided to face my fears and wear one of my least favorite notes, although I think I'm starting to like it a little bit. And the note is Orange Blossom, and this is Banana Republic's Moroccan Orange Blossom, and this has bergamot, cedarwood, and neroli, and of course Orange Blossom as well, definitely in the base. I bought this a couple of years ago for a steal. These were running for like $13 back in the day for 60 ml, completely natural ingredients, very long lasting, not synthetic at all. So these are very well rounded, and unfortunately they're discontinued, but you can find them online for a little bit more. I just researched it right before this video, and I saw someone selling 3 of them for $70, so that's a lot of juice. This is classic Orange Blossom, very bitter, sour, soft Orange Blossom that and again, this is my fear, but I decided to face my fears and wear this, and I kind of liked it. It is a little dirty. Orange Blossom can get dirty, can get a little skanky, but this one's nice. It's a beautiful floral in my opinion, and really good deal if you can find it somewhere. But I highly recommend this from Banana Republic. This whole line's amazing, by the way. I made a video years ago, but they're all discontinued, so not sure what the deal on that was. Next, we're gonna pick, I'm just kind of picking randomly over here on my left hand. All right, this is a good choice. This is Coromandel by Chanel. If you've never smelled this, I always recommend it highly in almost all of my videos. This is a patchouli fragrance. This is white chocolate. There's some creaminess in there, some creamy woods, and it's just like one of the most regal fragrances that you can have. And this is perfect for a transition because it's not completely in your face heavy. It's very soft. It's like a nice warm hug that's, very edible. I want to say it's not a gourmand at all, but it is something that you just want to smell. It's very cozy, and fall to me should be cozy. You got hot chocolate and fall leaves, a little bit of breeze, but this is gorgeous fragrance. Can be used on a lot of occasions, to be honest. It's very elegant, but you can also just put on a white t-shirt and some jeans and put on some Coromandel to add that extra detail to your outfit. Highly recommend Coromandel by Chanel. Next, we're going to go to another recent favorite of mine, and this is Lolita Lempicka's L'Homme, not L'Homme, Au Masculine, and this is a licorice fragrance. And if you like Jean Paul's Le Male, the original, you'll definitely love this. It kind of feels a little bit like that, but with an added licorice note. It's a little more spicy, a little more masculine, you know, because Le Male is very borderline, you know, feminine. It's very powdery and soft. This does have that extra edge to it. Adds a few spices along with licorice, like I mentioned. There's some star anise in here as well. Just a beautiful composition by Yannick Menardo. If anyone has any more recommendations for licorice fragrances, please drop them down in the comments below. I'd be curious to kind of explore that, especially if it goes into the niche territory. But beautiful fragrance. Unfortunately, this version was discontinued. Now I think now it's called Lolita Lempicka L'Homme, I think. But that was Al Masculine. Scored this at a vintage shop a couple months ago, and I absolutely love it. I wear it to bed a lot too. Next, we're gonna go with another recent pickup of mine. One of my friends online was selling this, and he gave it to me for an amazing price. This is Guerlain's Mitsouko EDT in this vintage Guerlain gold casket thing. Beautiful fragrance as well. Very nutty, very woody. Very strong too. There's something about this one that's just reminds me of some nice ginger biscuit cookies. It's another warm fragrance, very cozy. I haven't unfortunately tried the EDPs or anything like that, but I am very fortunate to have this EDT in my collection. There's maybe like this much left on there, but I do treasure this. I just got it maybe a month and a half ago at this point. I've worn it a couple of times, mainly at home. But it's along the realms of the coziness of Coromandel. Just this nice touch of, you know, nuttiness and a beautiful creamy blend that is very comforting. Speaking of comforting, this next one is gonna be Santal Noir by Dior. This one has rose, it has sandalwood, there's musks in there, there's ambrette seed, but the main vibe that I get from this is just a nice, perfectly unisex rose fragrance that's just enveloped by this creamy sandalwood, very smooth, no sharp edges at all. This is just like if you basically took out any sharp edges at all, you just have this blur of things. And this whole fragrance kind of just is one accord, to be honest. It's that well blended that it just feels like a singular note. There's no evolution at all. There's no top, there's no middle, there's no base. It's just all rose, a rose sandalwood concoction that just feels like one blob, which isn't a bad thing, you know. That's very good. This is really great fragrance. I think this is discontinued, at least in the US. I'm not sure if you can find it online somewhere else, but this is a big 250 ml bottle. I still have probably 125 left, so definitely plenty to go around. I do wear this. I do get compliments on this one all the time, and I just think it's a beautiful creation. Unfortunately, it got axed, so if it gets revived by Mason Francis into the new Espritz collection, that would be amazing. I would love to see this as an extrait, or Esprit as they call it. That would be kind of fun to see and to smell, but the composition would change, however, so I feel like it would get more complex at that point. But Santal Noir, beautiful creation from Francois. Release was in 2018. Just gorgeous, creamy not super in your face. It's just very kind of reserved fragrance that's complements any outfit, any occasion, non-offensive at all. So that is Santal Noir. This next one is something I wore, I believe yesterday or the day before. I was 2 days ago actually, and this is Roja Parfums United Arab Emirates, so UAE. The Oudh Parfum, and this one is essentially, if you want to dumb it down, it's just a rose oud, but it's rose oud done to the max. This is perfectly blended. It's not a dark rose oud. This is a rose oud that's very uplifting, very very fresh. It's a little spicy, and for some reason with all of Roja's creations, I get this weird saltiness to this. I don't know if it's the rose or some of the florals he uses turn into this sour note, but I quite enjoy that. It does add some character, but the rose in here is very high quality. The oud in here is smooth. There's no rough edges at all to this one either. And in my opinion, this is a very regal fragrance. I adore this a lot. And there's not much else to say other than it's just a perfect rose oud. Recently, I went to their Hermes boutique and I smelled their new oud. I forgot the name of it, but I really enjoyed it and I liked it a lot. But turns out it was a rose oud as well. And then when I come home and smell this, I kind of see where that was. I'm used to rose ouds being very dark, but this one's on the opposite side of the spectrum and perfect for the fall. It's not completely overpowering. It's still very bright and uplifting. You have that rose. You have a lot of nice floral notes in here, and then that oud and that saltiness just kind of adds a little bit of character to transition into the fall. So highly recommend Roja's UAE. Beautiful creation, one of my favorites. Next, we're gonna go a little bit spicier, a little more in the spicy direction, a little more in the nasty direction. And this is L'Artisan Parfumeurs Oudh. So if you can see the name right there, this is Oudh. Funny story on this one. I ordered it from a gentleman 4 months ago, back in May or April or whenever that was, and he was selling off a little bit of his collection, and I had never heard of this one before, so I researched it, and the reviews were saying how awful it was and how dirty and disgusting it is. And I decided, that sounds right up my alley. So I bought it, and it got lost in customs for 3 months. And I kind of lost hope at that point. I was like, I lost some money, it's whatever. And then one random day, it showed up. So it got released, and I was super excited. Came home, showered, put this on, and I basically put on just a bunch of body odor on my body with this fragrance. There's caraway, there's cumin, there's dirty musk, there's some light woods in there, which is oud. This isn't an oud fragrance in my opinion. This is just a spice bomb filled with caraway, cumin, some other dark fragrances, dark notes, but I think this is incredible. This is body odor. But this isn't the body odor that you smell on somebody else that you don't like. This is body odor that you created yourself. You worked at a hard day, mowing the lawn, working in the factory, coming home, and you smell like this, right? And you kind of like how you smell, so you don't mind it because it came from you, right? You're used to yourself. But this isn't the type of BO that you smell on somebody else that you just ran into the street and you're like, oh, this guy's dirty. No, this is something that you've created yourself. You don't mind it. And it's just very addicting. Very realistic too. It's very strange. But I absolutely love this. I wear this to bed a lot as well. Haven't worn it in public yet, so we'll test that out soon. But just a strange creation. Very artistic, but I do really enjoy it. Duchaufour made that one. I don't know when, but I really enjoyed it. So if you like nasty smelling spice, definitely check out Oudh by Lartisan Parfumeurs. Next is Les Indémodables, and this one is Amber Supreme. I love this one. I used to hate it when I bought it. I blind bought it, and I didn't hate it, I just kind of was put off by it a couple times. I got some headaches every time I wore it, but I don't think that was related at all. But now I wear this and it's fun. It's a masculine fragrance. It's another salty fragrance, salty, bright. And now that I'm smelling it, it's very almost similar to Santal Noir, but this one has ambergris in it. But you do have this like nice musky undertone to it, and it feels like there's a juicy rose up top, but I don't think there's any rose in here if I'm not mistaken. But beautiful masculine fragrance, very classic, very 80s, 90s. And I don't think I can get tired of this. This is just a unique fragrance. You definitely won't smell like anyone else. This is very unique, but very wearable, which is rare. So that's Amber Supreme. Perfect transition fragrance as well. It can be a little cloying, but it's not overpowering and overbearing. And people do seem to love it. This next creation is Fahrenheit. So this is Dior's Fahrenheit. This is the EDT version. You can do any version you want. Parfum, Aqua, anything. Any Dior Fahrenheit can do no wrong. And this is a diesel, petrol, violet leaf creation, leather. And now that I think about it, this is a masculine floral in my opinion. Although the florals in there are burnt and they're burning. If you look at the note breakdown, there's so many florals in here. But you still have that leathery base. You still have that fiery undertone to kind of negate all of those florals. And you're just left with this beautiful blend. Performs amazing. Very unique. Very wearable as well. So that's Dior Fahrenheit. And this last pick that I have for you is from the house of Celine. And this is black tie, or at least what was black tie at some point. my cat dropped this from a big old shelf pretty much right after when I got it, and so I came home to a nice smelling apartment, and black tie was no more, but it was laying down on this side like this. Cap completely came off, so there was about this much left, and I was able to salvage it. I still have this decant and another one that I kind of poured it into. And this is one of the best vanilla fragrances out on the market, in my opinion. At least a sophisticated vanilla. You have this beautiful creamy blend of vanilla. I believe Orris is in there. And let me see what else I can pick up on here. Definitely some woody base. I'm not sure if it's sandalwood or something, but it's very creamy. Very creamy blend. Very linear fragrance, but it's a 10 out of 10 all the way through. Very beautiful. If you like the DNA of Parfums de Marly Altair or the new Creed Centaurus, or any nice vanilla, you would definitely adore this. If you love the Chanel's Ani, if you absolutely love that, you will love this. This would be a step up, leagues above Ani. That one's very synthetic, but this is like the mature version of it. So those are my recommendations. Let me know what y'all think, and drop any comments on what you're going to be wearing this fragrance or what you wore last week. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you have any questions, again, let me know. Talk to you guys soon.